I'd like to call the May 6th meeting of the Carver Select Board to order. The time is 6 o'clock. This meeting is being recorded by Area 58 Community Access Media, Channel 9, and will be posted by Area 58 on YouTube as soon as possible. There are openings on several committees. Please refer to the front page on our website for a listing and application. Would you all mind please standing for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Ryan, you care to lead us off in the community prayer?
Almighty God, humbly we pray your blessing as we concern our life with the opportunity to serve our community. Enhance us with your spirit of dignity and selflessness. May we become instruments of support and understanding as we seek to bring an environment of trust and purpose among all who provide the many services that make us all that we can become. Help us achieve the goals of our commitment in this office that is now our responsibility, and especially we lift our prayers for all the citizens of our community that we've been allowed to serve, that they may discover the fullness and joy of life that we all seek, and keep those serving in our armed forces and our first responders in our hearts and thoughts. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Ryan. First item on our agenda is the reorganization of the Select Board. At this point in time, I'd give the reins to our Town Administrator, Mr. Gannon, to run us through the process.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. So I would like to ask for nominees for Chair of the Select Board.
I'd like to nominate Mark Townsend to be the Chair of the Select Board.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any other nominees? Not seeing any other nominees, I'll call for a vote to elect Mark Townsend as Chair. So signify by saying aye.
All right, Dan.
Aye.
Aye.
Only has to be a roll call.
Yeah.
With that, Mr. Townsend, I will turn it over to you for Vice Chair.
Well, thank you. Are there nominations for Vice Chair?
I'd like to nominate Dan Ryan.
Second.
We have a nomination and a second for Dan Ryan. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Congratulations, Mr.
Thank
Ryan.
you.
Congratulations,
And,
Mr. Townsend.
That's it.
Well, thank you. And just before we go forward, I'd just like to, on behalf of Mr. Ryan and myself, just thank you, Mr. Carter, and Mr. Hoffman for all your hard work over the last 12 months. I know we had a lot of pressing issues that came before the board and took a lot of time to deal with them. So we appreciate all your hard
Time
work.
and effort.
Thank you.
Okay, the first item on our agenda, as always, or the second item today, is citizens' participation. Are there any members of the public that would like to address the board? Seeing none. We'll move on to our 610 item, BPO Plymouth Elks Lodge 1476, for a new license for on-premises subsection 12 for all alcoholic beverages located at 169 South Meadow Road. Is there anyone here to speak on that? Folks? Like to just step up to the microphone and introduce yourself for the folks at home?
I'm Joseph Allen.
I am Paul Roginski. I'm on the chair of the building committee for the Plymouth Elks.
Okay. Can you just tell us a little bit about your project?
We're building a 40 by 60 building on the at the Plymouth Airport, but it's actually located in Plymouth, just a stone's throw away, literally. It's so yeah, it's 72 people capacity. Mainly, it's just a benefit for our members, but our main function is to fundraise and donate back to the community.
Okay.
Just to clarify, Mr. Chair, the building is actually located in Carver.
It's in Carver.
It is.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Carver, yes.
So is this the building? I went and tried to locate it just to make sure, 'cause I wasn't sure if it was in Plymouth or Carver. Is this the gray building on the right-hand side of the road if you're heading from Carver to Plymouth, just before the line,
See
right?
the
Couldn't get
sign,
any closer to the line
Yeah,
if
see
you
the
tried.
Welcome to Plymouth sign. That's our new building that just went up.
Okay.
Yeah, right on the town line.
Thank you. And Mr. Cannon, I know there was some issues with the alcohol on public property or.
Correct. We were concerned, even though it is in the town of Carver, the land is owned by the town of Plymouth. And we just reached out to them to make sure that they don't have a policy forbidding alcohol on town premises. like the town of Carver does and like many other communities do. They did do some research on it. They did reach out to town council. They don't have a response from town council, but they're very comfortable with the Carver Select Board approving the license, and then they're moving forward to make sure that it is appropriate for their town. And they did say that they own other town properties, particularly along the waterfront in Plymouth. They lease out to restaurants that have liquor licenses. So they're comfortable with it.
Okay, so we got answers from the Plymouth Airport Commission or
Plymouth
from the
Airport.
town of Plymouth?
The Plymouth Airport Commission. Correct. The executive director, I can't remember his, I can't remember his last.
Matt Cardillo.
Mark Cardillo, thank you.
Okay, and when you refer to council, are you referring to the town of Plymouth's council, our council, or
Town
the
of
Plymouth
Plymouth.
Airport Commission's council?
Town of Plymouth
Town
Council.
of Plymouth Council.
Okay.
And if I may, Mr. Chair, the last we heard, they have not heard back from their town council yet.
Yeah, that was my question. I think I saw that earlier. Based on that, I guess do we want to move forward with this, or do
They
we?
are comfortable with you moving forward with it.
It says based on, contingent on the approval of their town council.
Okay, and when you send they is the Plymouth Airport Commission?
Correct.
Okay. I'll open up to questions from the board.
I think all my questions were answered. I had the concern about, that it was run on the airport property, owned by, or run by the town of Plymouth, and land on Carver. It seems a little confusing, but I think all my questions were answered as I understand it, what they're doing.
Well, I thought it was confusing. Honestly, I probably did the first thing the boy did too. I Googled it. It didn't even come up as a Google address. So I
No.
drove out there, and that's where I saw the new building right on the town
Brand new
line.
building.
I mean, it's right on the town line.
I
Right.
did the same thing. Okay, so any other questions from the board? So, Mr. Cannon, do we have a definitive answer from the Plymouth Airport Commission's council? Is that definitive or not definitive?
Not definitive.
So we'd have to
we're-
make
we're
a
waiting for
motion
response,
subject
but
to-
They're comfortable with you moving forward.
Okay, I
So-
guess,
So I can make a motion to approve, subject to the approval of the council of
Yeah.
Plymouth?
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none?
Mr. Chair, I think it should read approval contingent on the town of Plymouth's legal opinion to
Yes.
allow them to move forward.
You
Okay.
open to that amendment?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Carter, you fine with that?
Second, yep.
Okay.
It's fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for your time.
Good luck.
All right, next, we have a request to use Shirtlift Park from the Recreation Committee on June 19th and August 28th from 3 PM to 9 PM. Ms. Slade?
Hi, I'm Emily Slavin, Recreation Coordinator here in Carver, and I know we didn't have to come in front of you about this, but there's a few bullets I'd love to read, if you guys will give me a minute. So, a local resident, Adam Freites, who also is a local musician, approached the recreation and proposed that Carver have music in the park, as many of our surrounding neighborly towns do this. And we actually thought it was a great idea, and I applied for a grant with the Carver Cultural Council and was granted $800 for music in the park. So the Recreation Committee has confirmed that they will fund the rest of whatever goes over that $800 to fund these 2 dates. So the 2 dates are June 19th, excuse me, and August 28th, which will be held at Shirtlift Park. We're working with local food trucks. We're trying to work all locally. A local brewery who is going to be coordinating and coming in front of you for a one-day license. The bands will be suitable for all ages, and we'll start advertising in the next week or so, and we're hoping that everyone can attend. We're really excited to bring this. I hear years ago this was here in Carver, but it's been a long time, and we're excited to bring it back. This will also be a great way for recreation to share the various camps we have for the summer. So we have over 20 clinics posted as of this week that we're offering to the town residents. So we thought it'd be great to, as a way to start the summer and end the summer. The kids get out of school that week, I think, the day before, so we just thought it'd be a great way to start and end the summer. We do have some concerns, and I wanted to meet with you and just let you know. The bathrooms at Shirtlift Park cannot be used for events, and unfortunately, porta potties are very expensive. We will need at least 2 on site, including a handicapped accessible one and a regular one. And that would take it's going to take a large part of our budget for this event and significantly impacts the recreation budget on a monthly basis. We pay over $810 a month just for 3 locations for porta potties. We will be adding in pickleball. That will be a 4th location for us. So we will be paying over $1,000 a month for the months that we have porta potties. And that's not included these events. They're actually more expensive. The company we use is great, but for one-day events, they're more expensive than others because we use them usually long-term. So that's a real concern for us, and we just really would like the select board to consider fixing these bathrooms. They would be used for so many things in Carver. I know Shirtliff Park is used for a lot of different activities. Actually on the Carver Old Home Day board. We are excited to, as we approach one of our big years next year. It's just something that I think it would be really important to look at. So I'm asking you guys, is it possible that we even took donations that night from the community to put towards this project? Or some suggestions on how to move forward with this? I just think that the committee and myself really think that if we could fix the bathrooms, that it would bring a lot more to the park. And next year, maybe we could do more than 2 days of music in the park and do more. But the budget just eats up with porta potties. So I just wanted to bring that up to you guys. Maybe you have some suggestions. And I want to thank Times for listening to me. And I hope that you guys join us that night.
Oh, just a couple of questions. Would there be any CPC funds, the community preservation? Would we be able to get anything from them for fixing up the park? Do you think?
Troy, I think we should reach out to them to see if, especially if the bathrooms aren't working.
Right.
They're not working at all?
Well, I will be honest, the last time I went in was Carver Old Home Day, and I would prefer not to ever go back in.
But
They're
that-
not appropriate.
But if I may, Mr. Chair, that's usually like a 700-person event, though. And that's why they don't, because the system can't take that many people.
No, if you go in them, they're not appropriate to be used. I don't think they should ever really be open personally.
Well,
The water does run, but it's not,
well, maybe, I think the place to start would be, maybe Mr. Cannon, you could contact O&M and have them take a look
Sure.
over there and come back and let us know what the issue is, so we can make a determination on that.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah.
And I had another question. So you expect maybe 100-plus people and 50 cars? Have you been able, do we need to coordinate with any of our safety departments, like police or fire?
so we were going to send emails to both. I don't know if the chair has already sent emails to police and fire to let them know. We actually are going to use students, and we're going to do some parking behind the bandstand. So we'll direct them in so that they don't have to cross the street. We also can park at the playground, but that would be crossing the street. So we wanted to offer for those who cannot walk that far to park behind the bandstand. Yes, it's in the woods, they're not directly parking spots, but if we had people out there directing them, there's more than enough room.
Well, I guess, I hate to put him on the spot, but I see our police chief here in the audience, so Chief Dufley, if you wouldn't mind, could you just come up and let us know if you think the department would have any issues with what we're discussing
Or
here
if we
tonight?
should wait, yeah.
Good evening.
Hey.
Sure, we'll make it all work. I have no worries about it at all.
All right.
It's a good question, but we're prepared to help out in any way we can to make it work, so.
Thank
Other
you.
than with the bathrooms. Parking, that stuff, we'll help with the bathrooms though.
Thank
No
you.
problems for us, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions from the board? Is there a motion?
I think I'll make a motion to approve, but contingent upon coordination with our police and fire of, for safety purposes.
And
long as
EMS,
that's-
and I'll
and
second
EMS.
that motion.
All right, we have a motion. Ms. Ewens, was that a second?
Yes, it was.
Okay, all right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you very
I
much.
hope you can make it.
Sounds like a great event.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds great.
All right, next up, we have a Class 2 license to revoke hearing, which is scheduled for 6:20. It's not 6:20 yet, but Mr. Cannon, do I understand that this hearing is no longer necessary?
Well, you know what, I did talk to council about it today, even though the applicant has surrendered their license. Town council did still recommend opening the hearing, accepting the license, the suspension of the license, and then closing the hearing.
Okay,
So
well,
let's hold on.
let's wait till 6:20 to to take care of that then. And we'll move to our next agenda item, which is the approval of the meeting room policy. So I think you were all given an updated copy of this policy a few minutes ago.
Yes.
So I do have one question, Mr. Cannon. So we have, it looks like the Select Board's office will be in charge of scheduling Meeting Room 1, and the town clerk's in charge of scheduling the other 2 meeting rooms. Why the change? I think it was always this office that scheduled those, no?
No, I guess it's apparently, it's always been that way, right? That's not a change. The town clerk was always scheduled rooms 3 and 4.
Okay.
I don't know when that precedent started, but it's the way it has
I don't know, I just know whenever we've done these scheduling here, it's always been through this office, so it's never been, when we've been in other rooms, it's always been through this office, so.
I can tell you right now, if we ask the town clerk if the select board needs room 3 or 4, we've never been told no.
No, I just,
So,
when I read it,
why
I
is
thought
that
it might
becoming
be a
an issue?
change, because we've never gone through the town clerk's office.
That's
all.
probably because our staff at the Select Board office
Does it
knows
for
how
us.
to use the right channels.
Absolutely. Are there questions from the board? Mr.
Sure.
Ryan?
So what is the key change to the policy?
Well, in reality,
that's being addressed?
there's no real change. It's just put it in writing. It's formalizing it.
Okay.
This past year, there were, I would say, a number of scheduling conflicts, that we had to deal with. And people were just asking about if there was a policy, so we decided to put it into writing.
So there's no change, it's
No.
just written down?
It's been the same policy that you've been operating under for, was it at least 8 years? I can't remember, it might have been a dozen years.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Ryan? Sorry, Mr. Hoffman?
So I think a lot of this came under question when we have to have extra meetings, especially before the town meeting. And then
Correct.
we'd have some groups got bumped and.
That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
I do have another question,
Yes,
too.
Mr. Ryan.
So if a group or a committee posts a meeting and then they get bumped, what is the impact of that happening? So say you've posted a public meeting, and then it's decided to be changed. Is there any fallout from that or impact of that?
Sometimes, I want to say they'll let you post, you put a note on the door telling them the meeting's been moved downstairs. Sometimes you can just post a meeting to town hall, and then you have to identify the room. So it all depends on the post, you have to look at the posting.
And that's acceptable if somebody posted for a room and then it gets moved? Okay.
As long as you give notice.
Okay.
All right. Anything else from the board?
Nope.
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the meeting room policy.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you. Our next item is the American Rescue Plan Act update.
Sorry about that, Mr. Chair. A little technical difficulty, that's all.
All right. So this will be very short. So our municipal well corrosion project, the same status as last time. It is complete. We are just waiting for the inspection with the DEP. There are just a few more things that have to happen prior to the inspection that they're working out right now. The decommissioning of the private wells, 10 properties are completed, and there's no further update on that. Do you have-
I could tell you to the chair, we have reached out to town council. Some of the homeowners have refused the town to go in there and close out their private wells. So we're reaching out to town council to see if we can expedite that. This was what do I say? It was required by DEP, who has no enforcement to make them remove their wells. A little frustrating, but a requirement of us.
Okay. I guess the only question on that, is there, at some point, if we went over a certain time, would we no longer be able to use ARPA money for that purpose?
As far as I know, we have received the ARPA funds. These are the ARPA funds, we have them in-house, so I'm not aware of any deadline.
Okay.
Okay.
I just had a question too on that. Was there a deadline for them to approve or to agree to getting their wells decommissioned? Because I know one time we talked about giving them a deadline, and after that, it would be up. They'd be on their own type thing?
I'll check, Tom. I'm not aware of a deadline, but I'll check with
Okay.
the health agent.
Anything else? All right.
Yes, so the Carver Middle High School mechanical system for better air quality, that project is now complete. They were just waiting for April vacation week to finish what they needed to finish without the students in school, and actually the final invoices will be submitted, so that will come off of this list. The Council on Aging deck, if there wasn't so much rain, it might be complete by now. But unfortunately, the weather is not helping. I think we updated you guys last time that all of the furnishings are ordered and in storage and ready to be assembled once the deck is complete. So that is very close to completion. The generator for Town Hall has been located and has a delivery date to FM generator, which is May 16th.
Where did you find it?
So, I don't know. Dave Seedentoff found it. So,
I want to say Oklahoma.
it was in the Midwest. Yeah, somewhere in the
Can we have someone
Midwest.
put a GPS tracking dot in that?
So, but, you know, it is still on track. I think they said by the end of May. So it is, so May 16th it should get there, and then it will get shipped to us and installed. And the UTV for the fire department, we aren't anticipating that until June. The update on this is that the parts did arrive at the upfit facility, so that will be assembled and fitted to the Carver Fire Department. So that should be done still by the end of June. I hate to say that they said maybe May, but I'm still just going to say end of June, so we don't have any anticipation of getting it sooner. And that is it.
All right. Are there questions from the board about this?
Nope.
All right.
It is 6:20, so we should
Thank
go
you.
back to the
Yeah,
hearing.
it is 6:21, so we'll go back to our Class 2 license to revoke hearing. This is for John J. Crescitelli, doing business as Loki Auto Sales Incorporated, 55 Wenham Road in Carver. He was notified of the hearing on Tuesday, May 6, 2025. And Mr. Cannon, I'll turn this over to you.
Sure.
Do we need a motion to open the hearing? or
Yeah,
we
is there a motion to open the
just-
hearing?
I'll make a motion to open the
Second.
All
hearing.
right. A motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, there was a complaint lodged by a neighbor about this property, 55 Wenham Road, that there was an individual who was granted a Class 2 license, although they do not operate out of this facility. We contacted the owner of the property. It is a realty firm. They own the property, they don't live there. The owner was not aware of the licensee holder, is not a renter of theirs, does not live at the property. Again, I drove out to look at the property. It is a residential home with a nice lawn. There are no cars out there for sale. When we contacted the licensee, he declined, he surrendered his license. He does not live at this address.
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of the licensee? Seeing no one. So he voluntarily turned in his license,
Yes,
and I believe we need a motion to accept that.
yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? All right, is there a motion to close the
Motion to
hearing?
close the hearing.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? It is unanimous, thank you. All right, on to our 640 item, the approval to sign a letter to legislators in regards to dissolving the North Carver Water District.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, at town meeting, the town meeting voted to allow the select board to petition the legislature to dissolve the management of the North Carver Water District, if you will. The North Carver Water District will still maintain and provide water to the customers up there. But this is bringing the management of that district under the town's umbrella. I would say for years, it was a quasi-town department. The town stepped in, helped with contracts, helped with town council, helped with their budget every year. And now it really has become apparent that it's not pumping water currently. It's in quite a bit of trouble right now with DEP. It's probably more important now that the town take this over. The town is the only entity that has the resources to bring this back up and running. And I also think too, just to maintain the system, to provide clean drinking water. That's my understanding right now, that the water coming out of Middleborough is best that the residents have seen in quite some time. We want to continue that and continue that standard. So it's just a letter to petition the legislators to pass the legislation to bring that control back to the town.
Okay. I think a copy of that letter was included in everyone's packet. Did everyone get a chance to read it? Any comments, thoughts? Ms. Ewens?
Yes, I have one comment, although it is addressed to our state senator and our state representative. I strongly urge the board to copy the Senate president and the House, the Speaker of the House, because this is an important bill and we don't want it to stall for any kind of political reason.
I agree with that. I think we discussed this previously, and we discussed that as well. So I would suggest that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, copy them.
We'll copy them on the list, yes.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Cannon, do you have anything else on this?
No, sir.
Okay, this letter, are you going to sign? It's got a spot for every member of the select board to sign, correct?
Yes.
Correct,
All
yes,
right.
it's for the select board to sign.
It's on the table in there when we're done with the meeting.
All right, there's no other comments. Is there a motion to approve this letter?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, we have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Town Administrator update. Mr. Cannon.
I will start off, Elaine, related to the COA deck. I would say it is substantially complete. I did drive out the other day. I did notice it was missing a staircase, so it can't be utilized yet right now. They have a ramp, but there's 3 stairs that need to be put on there. So I'm sure there's a punch list that goes along with that, but hopefully that'll be done soon. The pickleball court also has, the finished paving has been done out there. I'm not quite sure I understand, but I guess it needs to off gas is what they talk about. So the pavement has to sit there for a while without any paint on it, without the fencing done. So it has to take, I want to say it's 30 days to do this off gassing. And then they'll put up the fence, they'll put up the painting, the nets, all that. Looking at something probably somewhere around a June opening. And again, I'm sure there'll be a punch list on that also. We saw an indication today that I know we've been awarded a grant for the Cultural Council, $9,600. It is for the 2026 season, so all the grants have been awarded for 2025. But again, we have received that grant from the state for the 2026 season. I also did sign a contract for the ladder truck, let the board know. So sign the contract so we can get in line. I believe the fire chief told me the last time it was between 40 months and 48 months before we see delivery. So we could be 4 years away.
Wow.
So that, again, that's why it was so important for us to go to town meeting this year to get in line, just so at some point we'll be able to get the ladder truck.
And should there be no payments going out within that 4-year period? Or?
Correct. At the very, the earliest would be the 40 months. Right. So we have full
Save-
3 years before.
Save our
we see it.
pennies.
Yeah. And then the last thing I have is, we talked about the North Carver Water District a little bit earlier. They have been giving an administrative order from DEP to hire a distribution system operator, and then also they want to bring on an engineering firm to do an assessment. This is a very serious matter. I'm not sure what their plan is to address these concerns that DEP has raised. I might want to talk to the chair about setting up a future meeting with the North Carver Water District, the board, probably have a joint meeting to really talk about how they want to address this issue. They have, funding issues right now. They aren't really bringing in enough funds to run the district as it is right now, never mind to bring on these other things. I also know that they put out requests for proposals, I want to say twice, for a distribution system operator, and no one responded to their request for proposals. I'd say it's fairly odd. I haven't talked to any of these operators about that issue. I don't know if just because they knew that the district wasn't going to be maintaining for years, they didn't want to enter into a contract that would be broken right in the middle of the contract. I don't know what the issue was, but again, I think this is something that we need to address with the North Carver Water District.
I would agree with you. Let's get together and discuss a date for that
Okay.
joint meeting. I think, yeah, we need to work together to get this done for the people on using North Carver water. That's the bottom line, so.
Correct, and there are serious penalties along with this DEP order, so they really
Sure.
need to step up to this. And that's all I have, Mr.
All
Chairman.
right. Any questions on the board or anything? All right. Well, let's see. Topics not reasonably anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance. There are none. Approval of the minutes of March 18th, 2025. There
I'll
are-
make a motion to approve the minutes of
We have a motion and a
March
second.
18th.
Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is unanimous. Thank you. Approval of the executive session minutes of March 18th, 2025, and not for release.
I'll make a motion to approve and not for release the minutes of March 18th.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Approval of the minutes of April 15th, 2025.
I was away that day, so I'll let somebody else do that.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of April 15th.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I guess I'll abstain since,
All right. And finally, approval of the executive session minutes of April 15th, 2025, and not for release.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the executive session of April 15th and not for release.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
abstain.
Thing? All right. Thank you very much. We have a request for approval of a road race, the Harvest Triathlon, on June 8th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion?
We have any information on this or anything? Or?
There was information on the packet.
Yep.
It's just Sunday, June 8th. They do coordinate with the Carver Police Department to make sure we have proper details here. I don't see a start and an end date, but I can look for that. But, you know, a number of athletes, they say 450 athletes, so quite a field.
And they do this every year, right?
I think
I
they
think
do,
so, yeah. They do it Sunday, June 8th. It says 2025.
Yeah. It does say police details will be posted and arranged at Cranberry Road at Federal Street, the Federal Road. And they're also going to detail an EMS vehicle. So. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. And finally, we have a request for a one-day special license bartending service of New England for June 7th, 2025 at 127 Main Street, which is the Carver Sportsman's
Motion
Club.
to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you. Select Board announcements. Ms. Ewens?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's a little early, I know, but I wanted to remind people about the Memorial Day Parade, which is on Monday, May 26th. We'll be meeting across the street at Union's Hall. Is it Union Hall? All Veterans Hall? Sons of Veterans, that's the name of it. Sons of Veterans Union Hall, across the street from Town Hall at 9 o'clock, and it's usually finished by 11. We usually step off around 9:15, if my memory serves me correctly. So I hope everyone comes. It's a very special day. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Mr. Hoffman?
No, nothing at this time.
All right. Mr. Carter?
I'd just like to wish the new chairman and vice chairman well in the next year ahead.
Thank you. Okay. No, thank you. Mr. Ryan?
Okay. I wanted to announce that the Plymouth Airport Community Advisory Committee is meeting on the fourth Thursday of every month at the Plymouth Airport. So this airport's designated as a general aviation and regional airport. There is a citizens participation agenda item, so the committee's encouraging Carver citizens to attend and participate in collecting concerns. Currently, the main concern seems to be the amount of air traffic and the noise. So for the past few meetings, the committee's being trained on various aspects of the airport that include the airspace control by the FAA. So they're doing an educational sessions for everybody, and then we're going to collect the concerns from citizens. So I encourage, again, Carver citizens to, if they want to participate, go on the fourth Thursday of every month. The other thing I wanted to mention is we did with the fire department and some members of the select board, we did get a safety update on the battery storage facility. So we got to review the safety protocols that are in place, and everything seemed to be pretty good. So maybe at a future meeting, we might want to have a presentation, or, since it's going to be going live at some point, if we could do that as an agenda item, maybe the public would want to hear, how it's, that everything's been taken care of as far as inspections and safety, and the protocols are all in place, because I think it's been a concern for people for several years. So probably be good to give them an update of the status of the facility, if we could.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, I have one more item I forgot to mention, that on Memorial Day, the Avenues of Honor Committee does expect to have our banners up on the town-owned light poles. There are 25 of them. We expect them all to be full, possibly some double banners honoring the veterans who have served our country. The nominations for banners is open continually, so don't let anyone tell you that it's too late. You can still get your name in. If not for this year, your banner will be up one of the following years. So we're very excited about that banner.
Great update. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And finally, I just want to thank everyone who ran for office at our most recent election. It takes a lot to step up and run, and I congratulate everybody who won, and I thank everybody who ran. It's important that you get involved in our town. And also, I want to congratulate our town clerk, Kara Dayhill, and her staff. They did a wonderful job. And finally, I just want to once again thank Mr. Carter and Mr. Hoffman for all their hard work on behalf of the town and the select board over the past year. And I guess with that, that's it. Thank you. Our next meeting is on May 20th, 2025. And with that, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Subsection 21A6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real estate, the Rochester Road Salt Shed, Carver, Marion, Wareham Regional Refuse Disposal District, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Subsection 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to opioid litigation, and Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining, clerical union, the police union, dispatch union, operations and maintenance union, that if discussing the matters in open session may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the town, and we will not return to open session.
I'll make a motion to go into executive.
We have a motion and a second.
Dan Ryan says aye.
Mark Townsend says aye.
John Carter says aye.
Jim Hoffman says aye.
Sarah Hewen says aye.
All right, we are adjourned from open session. Thank you, everyone.